Hi, my name is Alan, and this is my 8th attempt at making a YouTube video.
This weekend we are heading out to Fakahatchee Strand State Park in lovely Goodland, Florida. We head out of Fort Lauderdale early, heading west across Alligator Alley. But first we are taking a pit stop at the brand new Everglades Elevated Boardwalk just off Alligator Alley, located about 10 miles west of the West End toll booth. It is accessible from both directions on the alley. If you're coming from the east, you will have to follow the signs to go underneath the highway. The boardwalk opened in August of 2025 after 2 years of construction. We have passed by it a couple of times now since it's been open, but by the time I realized that we had already passed the exit. Today I finally remembered to stop. There are numerous signs with information about the Everglades and the markers identifying the plants along the entire boardwalk.
Ready?
The tower is about 3 stories and is accessible by either stairs at the bottom or by walking up the winding boardwalk. We were hoping to see some alligators, but we only spotted birds on this stop. It takes about 30 minutes to an hour to walk the entire boardwalk, depending on how many of the signs you want to stop and read. It's definitely a cool boardwalk worth checking out at least once. Finally, with the elevated boardwalk finished, it was time to get over the Fakahatchee Strand. We continued west across Alligator Alley, counting many gators along the canal next to the road along the way. We got off the highway at exit 80 and headed south 18 miles on Highway 29. This stretch has several miles of wildlife crossings. Once we arrived at the park, we paid the entrance fee via QR code and checked out some of the information about the park posted at the entrance. The fee is $3 per vehicle.
Ready? We can see the ghost orchid. Did you ever see that Nicolas Cage movie with the ghost orchids? It was made by the same guy that did that Being John Malkovich.
There are also bathrooms and a couple nice picnic tables at the entrance. After leaving the park entrance, we slowly head down the unpaved James Scenic Drive. We have 6 miles to go to the beginning of the trail, which takes about 35 minutes since the speed limit is 10 miles an hour. There are also many potholes and the road can get quite rough in places. Fakahatchee Strand is Florida's largest state park at over 85,000 acres. It is also home to a vast array of wildlife including deer, raccoons, alligators, bears, possums, manatees, and crocodiles. It's also a bird watcher's paradise as well, with barred owls, eagles, roseate spoonbills, turkey, red-shouldered hawks, osprey, vultures, and many other species of birds throughout the park. Fakahatchee Strand is also one of the best places in Florida for spotting a glimpse of the elusive Florida panther, although sightings are quite rare as they tend to stay out of human sight. The road is also quite narrow, so be prepared to pull over and let vehicles pass in places. Today we have decided to ride the bikes 2 miles down the East Main Tram line, stopping for lunch at the Fakahatchee Hilton, a privately owned cabin which allows visitors to the property. Then we will go further down the trail, which goes for another 4 miles. The trail is named for the old small rail line that used to haul out ancient cypress trees logged there in the early 20th century. The trail is pretty easy to ride on between the parking lot and the Fakahatchee Hilton, but you do need to keep an eye out for large roots. We were expecting to see alligators along the trail as we went down it, as it is bordered by cypress swamp on both sides, but we didn't see any. I think it may have been because the water level was really low. This area has been in a drought for many months now. Once we got to the Fakahatchee Hilton, it didn't take long to spot an alligator, as we spotted this guy just down the trail with the outhouse. We have made it to the Fakahatchee Hilton.
I'm videoing in case it breaks and you fall. We made it to Camp Crystal Lake. As of right now, we have 8 gators on the lake. Right there, it's a gator. Right there.
After exploring the area, it was time for a little lunch. Today I've decided to do toasted Italian hoagies with all the ingredients I picked up at Aldi. I'll be toasting them in my MSR Windburner portable camping stove. First I spread on some mayonnaise on one side of the hoagie roll and some Dijon mustard on the other side of the hoagie roll. Then I slice each piece of provolone in half and put 2 halves on each side of the hoagie roll. Then add 2 slices of ham, 3 slices of salami, and 6 slices of pepperoni to each sandwich. Melt a tablespoon of butter in the stove on low heat and add the hoagies and toast until each side is starting to brown and the cheese is melted. While the sub is toasting, slice your tomatoes. I bring my lettuce pre-cut and my onions pre-sliced to make things easier. Once the sandwiches are toasted, remove them from the pan onto your plates. Add the lettuce, onion, tomato, and Italian dressing to each hoagie and serve.
Aaron is going to attempt to go into the outhouse that is surrounded by gators.
After we finished lunch, I headed back down the little trail to discover the alligators had multiplied. After cleaning up from lunch and saying goodbye to the alligators, we headed a little further down the East Tram Trail, but decided to turn around after a bit, as the trail was much rougher once you passed the Fakahatchee Hilton. After we packed up the bikes, we did the 35-minute ride back down James Scenic Road and headed to Everglades City to check out if the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Visitor Center for the Everglades National Park was open yet. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but it does look to be close to opening soon. We will definitely have to come back once it's open and check it out. There is also a kayak launch at the Welcome Center. After gassing up in Everglades City, we headed over to the newest addition to the Fakahatchee State Park, the Big Cypress Bend Boardwalk. There were some nice rocking chairs to sit in and look across a sawgrass swamp. There were signs with information about the Fakahatchee State Park and its biodiversity, and a boardwalk trail that led to a lake. And of course, some more alligators.
Now the birdie traps.
We left Big Cypress Boardwalk and headed west for our dinner destination, Goodland. But not before seeing 10 more alligators along the canal next to Highway 41. I had been trying to get Aaron over to Goodland for quite some time now. I have been several times on other kayak and camping trips over here, but Aaron had never been with me. Goodland is one of my favorite places in Florida. It's got that old school Florida charm that I love. We hit the Krabby Lady for some dinner, drinks, and some key lime pie. And oh my, what an amazing piece of pie it was. Easily the best key lime pie we've ever tried. Every bar in Goodland has a live band playing at some point during the day. If you made it this far into the video, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. Is that comfy?
Not really, but okay.
All of the restaurants and bars close early in Goodland except for the Little Bar, which stays open till 11 p.m. The Krabby Lady and Stan's close at 6 p.m. on weekends, and Paradise Found closes at 8. After wrapping up dinner, we went and checked out the cute little gift shop that the Krabby Lady had across the parking lot. Then it was time to stroll the village and watch the sunset over the water. Even though it was a few days after the new year, all the Christmas decorations were still up around town. It was nice getting one last taste of holiday spirit.
I got sand in my boots.
Finally, we stopped for some more live music and one last round of drinks before heading home.